How London has changed, 1980s to 2020s, Nelson's Column and Trafalgar Square. This is what iconic Nelson's Column and the end of Whitehall, London, England looked like in 2022 before going back to 1982, 83 and 1996. There has been a lot of change. The buildings are mainly the same, but most of everything else isn't. There is also this curious picture from 1996. Where and what is it? I'll reveal at the end of the video, as it took a lot of finding. This video aims to highlight the changes along with history through the use of contemporary photos and videos shot in 2022. Brought to you by Eclectic Experience, change seen through images. This is a video taken in 2022 to set the context for a picture of Nelson's Column taken in 1982 and another in 1983. If we compare the pictures side by side, well, the first thing we see is that there are traffic lights in 2022, when in 1982 there was just a light in the middle of the picture. Nelson's Column still dominates the skyline, as does the National Gallery, with both of them sitting in Trafalgar Square. Looking in more detail at Nelson's Column in 2022, it was finished in 1843. It was built to commemorate Admiral Horatio Nelson, who died at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, yet it took 38 years to complete. However, that is not all the story. The lions, again seen here in 2022, were not added until a staggering 1867. They were designed by Sir Edwin Lansdale, a famous English artist of the time. Nelson's Column itself is an amazing feat of engineering, being over 50 metres, approximately 170 feet tall. It is made up of solid blocks of granite from Dartmoor, Devon, England, and is a Grade 1 listed structure. An interesting point, the column was most recently refurbished in 2006 when it was surveyed. And guess what? It was actually found to be 4.4 metres shorter than previously recorded. Then back towards the National Gallery. Externally, facing Trafalgar Square, it hasn't changed since 1982, though further to one side the Sainsbury's wing was added in 1991. The original building was constructed in the 1830s and is a Grade 1 listed building. It is actually in the top 10 most visited art museums in the world. And they both sit in Trafalgar Square, which opened in 1844. Trafalgar Square has long been a popular tourist attraction and meeting place. It is also a popular gathering place at New Year, when despite the cold, in the past, it was not unusual for people to jump in the fountains. I think the fountains are generally now turned off and drained for New Year. Going back to the comparison to 1982, other highlights, if we look on the left, we can see the Trafalgar Theatre, which in 2022 is showing the Jersey Boys, but in 1982 was being refurbished. On the right hand side, the Clarence Pub is still there 40 years on. Zooming in to get a better look at the Clarence Pub, it dates from 1862 and was named after the Duke of Clarence, who later became King William IV. If we look next door, there is renovation work going on in 2022, but in comparison in 1982, the retail units were boarded up. In this comparison picture, we compare 2022 to 1983. It's a brighter picture than the 1982 one, and we can see a bit more detail. If we look up at the top of Nelson's Column, we can see birds flying around. Up until the early 21st century, Trafalgar Square was actually known for its pigeons, and I even remember someone who used to make a living selling bird food to tourists to feed them. There were an awful lot of pigeons. Zooming back out, what is fascinating is all the little changes we can see in the pictures. In 1983, there were still the old hop-on, hop-off buses running, where it was possible to jump off the bus whenever it stopped, not just at bus stops. So often at traffic lights, there was a big exodus from the bus. In the early 1980s, racing bikes were the most common form of bicycle in use. And also, most cyclists did not wear a helmet. Looking round, even the bins, the bus stops and bus shelters were different then. Also, check out the fashion from the early 1980s. Moving across to the Trafalgar Theatre in 1983. When we saw it in 1982, the theatre looked like it was encased in scaffolding. But it is back in use in 1983, and we can see that there is a lot on the canopy. I couldn't make out what was on the canopy, but some research suggests it was an exhibition of World War II memorabilia, known as the Whitehall Theatre of War. The theatre itself is a Grade II Art Deco listed building, constructed in 1930. It was actually originally called the Whitehall Theatre, and didn't become the Trafalgar Theatre until very recently. Here we can see a picture of the theatre in 1996, looking down Whitehall from Trafalgar Square. At this time, Cash on Delivery was being staged. Carrying on looking down from Trafalgar Square in 1996, we can see in this view Big Ben in the distance, and an immediate change is the number of private cars that can be seen. This was before the congestion charge was introduced, that came in to try and reduce road traffic and improve air quality. If we look at a similar view from a video in 2022, we can see the vehicles are mainly buses, taxis and vans. If we look down Whitehall, in addition to the Clarence, seen earlier, there are some other pubs, but they're not all as old as they seem. The Silver Cross looks like it could have been in situ for a very long time, but if we look in 1996, it was actually several shops, including a Pizzaland. For information, Pizzaland had been one of the big pizza chains rivaling Pizza Hut in the UK. But the brand disappeared from the UK in 1996, so we're actually lucky to have a picture of it. So what are these domes that I mentioned at the start of the video? Or more clearly, where are these domes? There are two clues. One is this signage, and the second is being able to see Nelson's Column. Well, I walked all round and found that the signage is that of Drummond Bank, which is still in the same place, but I could not find the domes. Then I looked for Nelson's Column and realised the domes had now gone. This is the view now, and I'm guessing a decision was made that the domes were no longer needed. For completeness, here is the view in 1996. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, please press the like button. I'll be aiming to make similar videos, so please subscribe to the channel, click the alerts bell and add comments, especially with any additional information. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.